What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Thursday Night Football Show. I'm Ivan Vargas. It's a wrap, 26-17. The Los Angeles Rams take care of business up in Seattle. I feel like it would have been a closer game, especially if the Seahawks kept Russell Wilson for the entire game. Russell Wilson goes out with a concerning throwing hand injury. I guess they were talking about it was his middle finger. So that's a real big concern for the Seattle Seahawks moving forward. But if Russ stays in this game, I feel like it might be a little bit closer. It was a 7-3 game going into the half, and I felt like Seattle had a lot of momentum. I told you about Seattle's defense. I just never trusted it. It's just not very good. You only have a guy who you got Dunlap. Dunlap's kind of older now as a pass rusher. You have Jamal Adams, and then the rest of the guys. I feel like it doesn't help. The Rams kind of put it on you in the second half, third quarter. You have a run by Henderson, and then you got Matt Stafford hitting Tyler Higbee for a 13-yard touchdown to make it 16-7 going into the fourth. And then after that, it was just kind of I know Geno Smith had a nice drive. It just wasn't enough, and you knew it wasn't enough as soon as Russ came out of the game. I felt like the offense was doing just enough to stay in it. And then as soon as he, like I said, Geno did well. He didn't do terrible, but Russ just kind of gives you a different element. Russ can do, different things. He's that good. Russ, he kind of matched him. Geno matched him 10 for 17, 131, one touchdown, one interception. He did well. Like I'm actually shocked to even have called Geno Smith's name tonight. Like I never thought Geno Smith was going to get back into a game, barring injury. And lo and behold, Russ gets hurt on a freak accident. I know it happens all the time. Limbs get slapped and everything like that. But it's still, to think that he just clipped Aaron Donald's hand on that throw. It sucks for Russ, but Geno Smith, you got to give him credit, even though he threw that interception at the end. I just felt like I don't think the Rams were ever intimidated by Geno Smith. I don't think they were ever intimidated by Geno Smith, especially once they took the lead. That call at the end, that non-call at the end, I don't think it should have been pass interference whatsoever. I felt like the receiver should have kept running through. He should have just kept running right through the defensive back. It wasn't like he went for your thigh. It wasn't like he went for your hip. He didn't take you out. He didn't take any of your legs out, any part of your legs or midsection out. He just kind of clapped at you. I feel like you gotta be stronger than that and run through that BS and try to make a play on the ball. Instead, Tyler Lockett falls down trying to sell a play and the ball gets picked and the referee doesn't ever once touch his flag. You got to be able to run through that. I know it would have been a ticky-tack call at best, in my opinion. I just feel like you got to run through that. It wasn't what would I say? It wasn't deliberate enough to be pass interference. He didn't try to take you completely out of the game. You got to run through that, try to make a play on the ball. You didn't, and that's what pretty much sealed the game. That was it. That was exactly it. Geno Smith I felt like it was a good throw. He read it right. Your receiver is falling on the ground. There's nothing you could do. You got to be able to run through that, Tyler Lockett. It's not DK Metcalf, but like I said, that wasn't the maybe he clapped at you. Maybe he clipped you with his arm, barely. But the way you flopped, you know what I mean? That was a book out of LeBron. That was a page out of LeBron James's book, man. You can't be able to flop like that and expect to get a call late in a game like that. You were that close. Like I felt like going back on this drive, if you were able to get a couple first downs going, you could have fucking maybe been able to at least got a field goal out of it to make it a little bit closer. But it is what it is. I felt like Geno Smith did well. Alex Collins did well. 15 carries, 47 yards. You don't have a number one running back. It's hard to judge what the Seattle team is going to be. They're sitting. Right now, they're sitting at 2-3. If Russ is out for an extended period of time, I don't think the Seattle team is going to get anywhere out of fourth place in that NFC West. If Russ misses 4 to 5 weeks, let's say that finger's broken, the rest of this division is going to leave him. The rest of this division is going to continue to grow and progress. Geno Smith might be, I don't know, it might be a miracle if he does. I mean, he produced tonight. It might be a miracle if you could get him to produce consistently week after week, but you're asking for a whole hell of a lot for a guy who hasn't achieved so far in his career. I feel like Geno Smith is a good stopgap. It kind of threw him for a loop tonight. I just don't trust it if he's going to be your guy for the rest of at least an extended period of time if Russell Wilson's going to be out with a finger injury. Going to the other side with the Los Angeles Rams, I mean, we talked about it earlier, Marco and I. We talked about Matt Stafford being able to get the ball to multiple receivers, get the ball, spread the ball around, try to get more of a running presence. And I mean, what better night to do it against the last place defensive team in the league, that is the Seattle Seahawks. Darrell Henderson, 17 carries, 82 yards and a touchdown, 4.8 average. Sony Michel, 11 for 37 and a touchdown, 3.4. The biggest thing is you got carries to your two starting right. Well, the two feature backs, I would say. You got it to the two main backs that you're using. 10 plus carries for both of them. I like that. I would do that for if you're consistently getting production at 17 or 15 and 10, right, for your running backs. I think Matt Stafford has the reps. He can take you the rest of the way, especially if he's getting the ball to his receivers. I mean, right now it was honestly Robert Woods' show. I don't know if he barked. He was in Matt Stafford's ear. I don't know if he was bitching at him all week or what. But Robert Woods had 12 receptions for 150 yards. He was targeted 14 times. Cooper Kupp had 7 for 92. He was targeted 10 times. Everybody else, I mean, they got a couple targets in them, but nobody had more receptions than 2, which was Higbee, and he scored a touchdown. It was just a good executed, well executed game. I mean, it was a closer game, like I said, a typical NFC West game. When you lose a guy like Russell Wilson, it's gonna be tough. And Geno Smith, I mean, to his credit, he answered the bell all the way up until the end, and I just felt like his receiver didn't do him any justice. But all right, guys. Well, I mean, that's it for me. Rams are going to move to 4-1. Seattle 2-3, and I'm out of here. I'm tired as shit. So I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you guys for Sean and Maya in the morning tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, guys, Thursday Night Football Show on Sports Zone Chicago.